Welcome to Module 5 of the Managing Unconscious Bias course presented by the Cultural Intelligence Center. This module of Managing Unconscious Bias is based on the research behind CQ strategy, the third capability of cultural intelligence and the part of CQ that really makes the difference between those who can manage bias and those who can't. Module 5, Skills to Manage Bias. After completing Module 5, you will be able to increase your comfort level by responding to bias with CQ. You will enhance your ability to recognize bias in action, and you will be able to define and recognize success. Bias is rarely limited to what happens between two individuals. It occurs within a larger context. The repeated occurrences of bias often result in societal and organizational structures and systems that have bias built into them. A series of biased decisions over time creates biased systems. If we can see the system, we can work to modify that system itself to ensure everyone has equal opportunity to contribute and share their talents. CQ strategy helps us all consider a broader perspective, going beyond overly simplified stereotypes to develop a more nuanced understanding of what's going on in a situation. Let's start with two real-world scenarios to practice culturally intelligent responses to bias. Now that you have practiced identifying and responding to bias, let's dig a little deeper to build skills to apply CQ strategy to real-world scenarios. CQ strategy is your awareness of bias in yourself and others, and your ability to plan to consciously avoid the application of bias. It consists of three parts: planning, awareness, and checking. Click the buttons to examine how you can use CQ strategy to manage bias using these three parts. Examine both of the scenarios listed here to practice applying cultural intelligence strategy to manage bias. Remember, confirmation bias and affinity bias work together to favor people who are similar to us. These biases can pile up, creating unfair systems. To further explore culturally intelligent strategies for hiring and for managing day-to-day bias, download the documents seen here. Let's explore some ways you could apply strategy to the hiring practices at your organizations. Consider your workplace, then click on a strategy to learn more. In this module, you practiced the skills for planning, awareness, and checking to apply CQ strategy to managing bias. Unconscious bias will never go away, but the deliberate effort to plan for how it influences individual interactions and institutional-wide systems will help to keep bias in check. You have now completed Module 5. What is one key insight from this module?